Thank you, and it's late November 2021 here up in York Beach, Maine. I'm here with Thomas Olson. He's a multifaceted artist, and he was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease about 8 years ago. So I'm just going to ask you some questions today.
Sounds good.
What kind of artwork do you create?
I primarily create photographs on canvas from images I take, almost every day. Mostly for what got things going was when our resident eagles began nesting here in 2017. I discovered them, I remember it so perfectly, I discovered them on the last day of 2016. And and I got several photos of them. The eagles are still here. The same pair, their nest blew down, they moved across the street, but in the same area. And, it makes me smile every time I'm down there. Those birds are magnificent. Yeah, it's been a remarkable journey. Mm-hmm. So that was my number one inspiration after I think about it.
How or why do you remain so passionately inspired to do your art no matter what's happening in your life?
Well, I'll tell you what, it was because of my interest in birds. That's what pretty much fueled everything. And that had to have been 20 years ago when I got reinterested in birds, and it was as a result of some bird feeders that I had in my backyard. And I would see birds that I didn't know coming to them, and then I started just wondering a little more, about where they were nesting and, where I could find other birds. And that's actually what happened. So I started going to a different place here and there, and I would walk about 3 miles back when I first started, just to see if there was a difference in the wildlife along that trail. But at the same time, it offered me opportunities to photograph just some outstanding scenes of the ocean, as well as the mountain, just moving to the forest, because I go to all those places on a regular basis. The lakes, the bars, but no, not the bars. The lakes, and it's just, I can't walk it anymore, but I still can. I can still walk the beach every day. A lot of people hate the gulls, but I kind of admire them. I do not mind them following me around when I'm down at the beach, and I really like the beach this time of year, mm-hmm. when it's extremely cold, and you can see, you can sometimes see, just a little bit of ice down by the shore as the waves trickle in, and it just, I don't know, to me it's beautiful. Yeah. No matter the time of day. After a couple years, it was just really the beauty of this place that inspired me. The ocean, the forest, the sound of the birds, the sunsets, the sunrises, all of that is an inspiration to me.
So, something on a bit of a little different note.
Uh-huh.
How have you found that Parkinson's has affected your life since the diagnosis?
Since the diagnosis, it's affected it negatively. However, the first 3 or 4 years after diagnosis, it wasn't bad at all, because I still didn't have much of a tremor, but now I have it all the time, you know, and which is why I usually hold my hands like this, and I lose my train of thought quite easily. I was, of course, working at the time, and I worked from home as a programmer, and it wasn't long really after the Parkinson's diagnosis that I could tell that it was affecting my brain, because my memory was just cutting short, and I forgot how to do some of the programming of the packages I worked on. It was a tax software program for H&R Block, and I loved it, you know, because I got to work from home. Mm-hmm. But more and more, I couldn't remember how to do things I had done hundreds of times, and that would increase my stress, you know, and I'd have these anxiety attacks, something that I really never had before. The anxiety attacks were a big part, and still are a big part of my Parkinson's disease. So after after having to quit the job, I tried some, just some menial stuff around here, but eventually just retired completely. And then my new job was just going out and finding pretty things to shoot.
So you mentioned you've done a lot of photography, but have you dabbled in other forms of artwork?
Well, let's put it this way. I am dabbling now. I always enjoyed drawing. However, I can't really draw a face anymore. I can't draw a bird's face anymore. So I'm trying to develop bird abstracts, okay? But in order to, they still have to be identifiable. Mm-hmm. But I think it would be kind of interesting and even beautiful if I could get it down to a point where I could easily draw a semi-recognizable, bird. And I wouldn't be able to do too much of the detail, but I just think that people might find it interesting, especially coming from the point of view from someone with a movement disorder.
Mm. Yeah, I love that. So do you think that going forward, are there any other projects you'd like to do or other hobbies you'd like to get into?
Well, I think I mentioned that I was an actor. Maybe I didn't, and I had to give that up, and I so wish I could get back to that. That was my true love growing up. Besides what I'm doing now, I am really, really anxious to start exploring music again, because I can still hit the keys on the piano without any problem. So that's part of the next thing, and I'm also very busy writing. All right, I like to write poetry. I like to write stories or small strips, and eventually I want to work on a bird book, but not just a boring bird book filled with boring pictures, but something that's just going to knock the socks off of people, and to do that, when you can combine science with humor. Watch out. Because you don't know what's going to happen. It could be great or not so good.
Could be.
Yeah, so there's lots of things that I'm looking forward to. I still would like to travel. And Terry's retiring soon, and hopefully we can. I'm a little anxious about flying, but I think I could probably handle that as well.
Well, I know that family is really important to you. Do you want to talk about how your diagnosis has affected their life as well?
Well, my bride, as it turns out, and I knew she would be, is just an incredibly great caretaker. She puts out, I don't know, 25 plus pills every morning that I have to take throughout the day. And I have to watch out if she's coming home and I haven't taken every one that I was supposed to. So, because I'll get yelled at. Because I do still forget, even though I have an alarm on my phone. She even took over the cooking. Now, Terry was a good cook, but not a great cook. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But as it turned out, after another Thanksgiving, I couldn't do it anymore. So my son-in-law and Terry and my daughter handle all the big holidays. And Terry makes dinner every night. I really have to say that how grateful I am to have these people in my life, my family, who take wonderful care of me. My doctor at Brigham and Women's Hospital in Boston, complete genius when it comes to movement disorders. Nobody knows Parkinson's and everything else like this man does. He's a researcher, And so I'm very grateful to be able to be seeing him. My local doctor is one of the smartest men I've ever known, Dr. Sacchetti, and I'm very grateful to have him as my local doctor. Yeah, so that would be, kind of if I was writing a book, that would, like the acknowledgments at the end of it. So I got Terry, I got Dr. Karana at Brigham and Women's, great. Dr. Sacchetti, right here in New York, and my dog. Oh, I don't have a dog. I don't have a dog yet. I keep asking every year for a dog, but I haven't got one yet. So if anybody wants to give me a dog, or just let me come over and play with the dog.
It's almost Christmas. Would you like to just share some artwork?
Oh, sure. What I have here to share now, this is just a sample of some of my photos of Noble Light, which is the primary scene here in York. Okay, it's the most photographed lighthouse in the world. And even kind of mundane photos like these are still beautiful. I don't go up there anymore because it's too difficult for me. It's too hard to set equipment up, and it's too early for me now. Because one of the things with Parkinson's is I'm often up half of the night. Like I'm often up for 3, 4, or 5 hours before I get back to sleep. And that's kind of a regular thing. But I digress. Here we have some birds, okay, typical of what I shoot. These are the two famous eagles that I was talking about that moved here. I named them the day they came in. This is King Ragnar, and this beauty here is Queen Lagartha. Okay, the females are significantly bigger than the males. Another one of my favorite birds is the yellow warbler, and this one happened to be in an apple blossom when I shot it. The eastern bluebird here, another beautiful favorite bird of mine, was just right outside the house, and this remains one of my favorite bluebird photos. And this pretty lady here, or juvenile, is a northern cardinal, and I just liked, you know, the combination of the snow and the red berries and everything, but these were all taken here in York. I enjoy looking at them, I enjoy printing them, I enjoy, you know, showing photos to people that have never seen some of these birds, and you know, and just I like to watch how they react. You know, if they marvel in the beauty of the photograph, then I am very pleased. Here we go. This is a, you know, I know what this bird is, but it's just one of the little sandpiper type birds that you see here at Long Sands Beach or at any beach in the area at different times of the year, and they cover the entire beach practically. This is a 16 by 20 image of Noble Light taken from a different venue than most people took them from. Finally, a few people got wise and started doing the same thing. But it was fun. It was fun.
Thank you for showing some of your artwork.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Thank you for sharing some of your story and having me up here in York, Maine.
I'm so glad you came.
Thanks.
Really.
Yeah, so this is Thomas Olson, and I'm Emily Mague. Thank you. That was a bad high five. I'm so bad at high five.
I know, I'm the worst, so now I just keep my hand steady.
You can come for it.